Okay, today we are going to make pianono, Nika's favorite since she was a child. The first thing that we're going to do, we are going to put some oil. That's about 1/4 cup of cooking oil. And then we will spread it to cover the whole cookie sheet. And then we are going to put a wax paper. You have to cover the paper both sides. You can see this is wet with oil. Now we are wetting the other side. Make sure there is enough oil to go around. And you will put this aside. For the second tray, we are going to do the same thing. Because each recipe makes 2 rolls. So we are using 2 cookie sheets to make 2 rolls. Alright, put this aside. Next thing that we are going to do, we're going to do the batter A. I will call this batter A. And for this batter, we are going to sift 2.5 cups of soft silk flour. Soft silk flour is this one. Okay, you can buy this at any grocery store. Very soft, quite different from the all-purpose. And then we're going to add the 3/4 cup sugar there, 1 tablespoon of baking powder right there, and then that's about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you will sift them all together.
Purpose of sifting?
Because when you sift the flour, it turns very, very, very smooth. And you will see after we are done sifting, then you will know that there would be like curds left over, and you don't want that in your cake. And you can see how this is very smooth, like powder really. And this has, you know, those big lumps. Almost done. There are tiny balls left after sifting. You don't want to mix that in the powder. Next thing that we're gonna do, you level the powder, the cake mix, as level as possible. And then here in the middle, you will create a hole like that. So now you have a hole, you're creating a wall like Niagara Falls. And then we are going to put this aside. Next, we are going to separate the egg white and the yolk. For the wet ingredients, we are going to mix this with 1/2 cup of orange juice and 1/4 cup water. Okay, and then we are going to add 1/2 cup of cooking oil. So here, the wet ingredients include 7 egg yolks, 1/2 cup orange juice, 1/4 cup water, and 1/2 cup cooking oil. So back to the dry ingredients. You remember that we made a hole earlier, right? So now we are going to put the wet ingredients in there. Now you are going to incorporate the dry and the wet. Not all at the same time, but slowly, slowly, slowly. You need to make sure that the powder or the dry ingredients slowly get into the wet like that. It's kind of like glaciers, falling into the water. This is the part that takes the longest time, because I think it takes maybe about 10, 12, up to 15 minutes to mix. But then again, you cannot do any faster than this. It just has to be really slow, because if you do it fast, it will be lumpy and it will be very, very difficult to make it smooth. When there are clumps of flour falling into the egg yolk, don't try to break it. Let it break by itself. It will do that. Let it do it. Let it do what it's supposed to do. The reason we are doing this is to make sure that this egg yolk and the flour are well mixed. There are no lumps, there are no clumps, because if you leave this lumpy, then it's not gonna be fluffy, it will flop. Make sure that you're only mixing one way, like clockwise. We'll set this aside, and then we will work on our egg white, the batter B. At this point, while you are doing the egg white batter, you can turn the oven on to 375. Now we are ready to do the batter B, which is the egg white. We have 12 egg whites, and then we're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and then 2/3 cups of white granulated sugar. By the time we're done with this, the oven will be ready for us. I'll put cream of tartar here. We will start using the electric mixer, starting with low. We will let the egg white rise a little bit before adding sugar. Make sure your mixer touches the bottom. You will notice when I put the sugar, it stays on top, and that's a good sign. Let's check the consistency. It should form a soft peak when you touch the egg white, okay? To test whether your egg white is good, touch the egg white and it should form a soft tip. There you go. Can you see that? It curls right there. Can you see it? Right there. Now we are going to incorporate the batter A into the batter B. You can see that when I put the batter A into the egg white, it does not sink. That's a good sign because it means that the cake is gonna be successful. When you do this, you just fold it. You don't mix it, just fold it like this. We're ready to distribute this to the two hands. See all the air bubbles breaking into this. The first tray is in the oven at 375 for 14 minutes. It depends on the kind of oven that you have. It can be 350 to 375. So now we're ready to do the filling. So we have 1 whole stick of butter. Let the butter melt. And while it is dissolving, we can actually add sugar and also evaporated milk. We are also going to add 1/4 cup of water, and then we are going to add the 5 egg yolks. Now we're gonna add 1/4 cup sifted flour. Just gonna keep stirring, make sure it doesn't burn. So we're keeping an eye on the temperature. Right now it's in medium. You can see the flour is still lumpy, but it will smooth out as we go. It will melt all together with all the other ingredients. It's starting to get thick. So at this point enough, we are ready for the rolling. Turn it off. Stir it some more. And you can see the consistency. It's kind of pasty. While waiting, we are going to prepare this. We are going to roll the pianono. We're going to put sugar so it doesn't stick to the towel. Okay, the first cake is done. The pianono looks like this. Okay, I'm ready to turn it over. So, it's so hot, very hot. I'll put it here at the very edge. We will remove the wax paper. We have 2 cakes to cover, so we're going to split this into 2. Putting the filling all over to the edge, so it will keep the roll together, so that the roll will not unravel. Ready to roll! Rock and roll! Look at my fingers here. I have to kind of like cover all the edges like here. It'll be better if I have bigger hands. Then it's good. Okay? Now just kind of like push it like this and let it roll. No cracks! This is what Nika and I made. We made pianono rolls and we already sampled it. It's good, very good. So I say, kain na!